Once upon a time, in a small, dusty village, nestled at the edge of a vast desert, there lived a donkey named Zack. Zack wasn't like the other donkeys in the village. While most donkeys spent their days plodding through the dusty streets, carrying heavy loads, Zack had a heart full of dreams. He was a small brown donkey with big, soulful eyes, and his coat was always a little covered in the desert dust, which gave him the nickname Zack of the Dust. Zack's life was filled with long, tiring days. He carried water for the villagers, helped transport goods from the market, and worked in the fields under the hot desert sun. Though Zack loved his home and the people he helped, he often looked out at the endless dunes of the desert, wondering if there was more to life than dust and work. "I wish I could go on an adventure," Zack would say to himself. "I want to explore the world beyond this village, where the sky is wide and the wind carries new stories." One morning, while Zack was taking a break after carrying a load of hay, a wise old camel named Omar came strolling through the village. Omar was known for his great adventures in the desert and beyond. His coat was long and golden, and his gait was slow but full of confidence. Zack, always eager to listen to Omar's tales, trotted up to him. "Omar! Omar!" Zack called out. "Can you tell me one of your stories? I want to know what it's like beyond the dust." Omar smiled, his old eyes twinkling. "Ah, Zack, the dust. It is a part of life, but it's not the whole story. There is much more to see, if you're brave enough to leave it behind." Zack's ears perked up. "You mean there's more than just dust and sand?" Omar nodded. "The world is vast, and it holds many wonders. The stars at night, the cool green valleys, the sparkling rivers. But you must be willing to step out of what you know to discover them." Zack's heart raced with excitement. He had always dreamed of leaving the dusty village, but he was unsure how. "I don't know if I can leave my work behind, Omar. The villagers depend on me." "True, true," Omar said thoughtfully. "But sometimes you must listen to your heart, Zack. Sometimes the journey you take for yourself is the one that helps others more than staying behind." That night, Zack couldn't sleep. He stared at the stars, thinking of the adventures Omar had spoken of. The more he thought, the more determined he became. The next morning, Zack made up his mind. He would set out on an adventure beyond the dust. As the sun began to rise, Zack packed a small bag with some carrots and water and set off toward the desert. The villagers waved goodbye, some with confusion, others with smiles. They all knew Zack as the dependable donkey who had always worked hard, but they didn't know that he had the heart of a wanderer. The journey was long, and the desert was as vast as Omar had said. The dust swirled around Zack's hooves, and the heat of the sun was intense. But Zack didn't give up. He trotted through the dunes, feeling the wind on his face, imagining the world waiting for him beyond the horizon. After many days of traveling, Zack reached a green valley nestled between two towering mountain ranges. The air was cool, and the land was covered in wildflowers and tall grasses. Zack felt his heart fill with joy. He had never seen anything so beautiful. He explored the valley, drinking from a sparkling stream and resting beneath the shade of tall trees. He made friends with the animals who lived there, a wise old owl, a playful squirrel, and a kind-hearted deer. Each new friend shared their own stories of the world beyond the valley, filling Zack's heart with wonder. But as much as Zack loved this new place, he couldn't forget the village. He missed the sound of the children's laughter, the warmth of the villagers, and the work that had once felt like home. He knew that his adventure had taught him something important. There was a balance between exploring new horizons and cherishing the places and people that shaped you. Zack returned to the village, his coat now a little cleaner and his spirit fuller. The villagers welcomed him with open arms, excited to hear about his travels. And Zack, with his heart full of stories and adventures, had a new sense of purpose. He knew now that he could bring the lessons from the outside world to his home, helping the village grow and thrive in new ways. Zack the donkey of the dust had found the greatest adventure of all, not in leaving the dust behind, but in learning how to live fully both in it and beyond it.